Action.
So I mean, I understand that, of course, like before marriage, like maybe rejection, looking for a job, like just normal life period. But what about like dealing with rejection in marriage? If you're already married and you're feeling rejected in your own marriage, maybe you feel like your voice is not being heard in your home or with like your spouse, or maybe like you just feel that you're just rejected some way, like however. And an example that is coming to me is actually Leah, right? Because yes, Jacob, like Leah was not Jacob's first choice. It was as if Leah was forced on Jacob, but because he really loved Rachel, right? So he did everything to please Rachel, while Leah was doing everything to please Jacob. And she kept having babies like, oh, maybe my husband will love me, maybe my husband will look upon me, maybe my husband, blah, blah, blah. All the children that she was having, like, it was just like, okay, maybe I'll get his attention, maybe I'll love, maybe he would, notice me type thing. So I feel like that's a woman that actually dealt with rejection
I have a
in her own
question though.
marriage.
What if, just what if,
Mm-hmm.
it's a question. It's a question. What if Leah was actually God's will for Jacob, and Jacob married Rachel out of his own permissive will, like out of the abundance of love he has for Rachel? What if God's intention was actually for Jacob to marry Leah?
I mean, again, assumption. What if?
What if?
Truly.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, talking about that, it could have been because again, thinking about it, why? Because Rachel's heart
Rachel
was still
died
joined.
before Leah.
Yeah, and like you said, I think did you say
Leah, I think in a way God compensated Leah for is it abandonment?
Yeah, and like a rejection,
right? Because Jesus came from the lineage of Leah.
Of the yeah, definitely.
She bore Judah, and Judah is an ancestor to King David, and Jesus came from that lineage as well. So I think
David. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was compensated, but maybe she probably found like our joy and our peace
in our children, right?
in our children and God. Well, I don't know if she had a relationship with God. I mean, the Bible didn't on that part, but I would say like, okay, what if that should happen in real life instead of killing? Because like some women, because they can't deal with rejection, especially in marriage, they kill themselves. Like they're depressed, they like put all that burden on their children, like it becomes like oh mommy, oh mommy, oh mommy, like then
and they even start the bitterness
exactly
becomes something else,
exactly,
and they start having terrible diseases
exactly. So I just feel that like if you're dealing with rejection in marriage for real, like just focus on God, because like I always tell people, you see this marriage thing is a gift. There's no marriage in heaven. So if it's not working the way you've like you've imagined it to work, does not mean like that's the end of life for you. You can pick up like your life and just focus on God, because at the end of the day, when we get to heaven, you will like the man will stand on his own, the woman on her own, and we will all give account. So I just feel that we shouldn't, because I've seen like I can tell stories for days about like different crazy things that people do just because they don't want to feel rejected by their husband, or like maybe vice versa, I don't know, but I can talk from a woman's perspective. I mean, like there's a particular story that was trending at some point about how like this girl went, like she did everything including ungodly things just to build a man, right? Because maybe in her mind she felt that that's what she had to do to make the marriage work, right? And I feel like, where do you draw the line? If you're feeling rejected, at least Jesus is not rejecting you. And I just really want to pass this message across, that if you're feeling rejected in your marriage, right, focus on Jesus. Jesus is the original groom, is a bridegroom, right? And that's the person that will come back and take you home,
Mm-hmm.
right? This man, the physical mortal body,
Mm-hmm.
is just there for a limited time. But the one that will be there for the eternal life is Jesus himself. So if you're not getting that love, that attention, that care from the physical husband, as a woman, please, I am begging, focus on Jesus. Make him your husband man.
Also, I'd also love to add that sniper is not the answer to the young ladies out there that don't know how to handle rejection. Because a guy ended up a relationship with you or something does not mean you should take your own life. Your life means more. And any guy that leaves you is his loss.
Yes.
Except you don't see yourself as a queen that you are. Right? So get it all together. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying you won't feel the pain. In fact, for some time your heart will be as if it was to burst. So that if you truly loved him, you get it right. But sniper is not the answer. Taking poison, killing yourself, stabbing yourself, hanging yourself, you don't need to commit suicide to prove that you're heartbroken. You don't need to. For any guy that leaves you, you're a queen. Your king will come.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I actually have a video on YouTube about like the king and his bride, right? And it was actually just describing how Jesus died for us as, believers, like how he was stripped, like it was pretty much like, stripped, naked, beaten and everything. Yeah, just to prove to you that he loves you. So if any man can get nailed on the cross for you, can anyone pay that price? Like, but Jesus went all through that just to prove his love to you. So I feel like that love alone should supersede, just the thoughts of like, oh, this person is rejecting me, and as a result, I want to kill myself. I don't feel like, like I don't feel worthy, like I don't feel like I'm good enough. And then as a result, you have like low self-esteem for what? Like, it's not worth it. So, but we'd like to hear from you. Like, what do you think? How do you deal with rejection? Whether like at a place of work, with your colleagues, like your family members, your friends, even in your marriage or your relationship. We'd like to hear how you deal with rejection. Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you on the next episode. Signing out. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, blow your kiss.
I'm not kissing.
Ah.